Hello, welcome on my channel. So today we're gonna talk about 3.24, my progress, Poorman's Cremation, blight-ravaged maps, and basically all the topics related, right? So, well, my league started quite slow because I only had time during the weekend to complete campaign. Then I played like blighted maps for some time. I did upgrade my build to the point where I could slam non-amber oil blighted maps on Monday, day 3, but then I had to stop. I had to travel for work and returned on Friday. However, I had plans for the weekend, so I did not play a lot during weekends. So basically I started playing a bit more on Monday this week, and I played for a day. Then I was able to afford all the required items to start playing ravaged maps, right? So then I started playing ravaged maps like CC, I mean Crimson, Black Oils, until just to get some first currency. Then I started playing like single golden oil maps, and then I got enough wealth to start playing blighted maps in sessions, which is most effective because you spend very little time in hideout, you don't trade that much, and after completing a session basically you purchase oils and go for another, right? So all I had to do this league is selling a little bit of jewelry. Oh sorry, this is the dumb stash tab. So selling jewelry, which was very nice because I could also filter some more expensive ones early on, like ghastly eyes or rings or stuff. But most of them I sold for like 30 to 40 C, like you can see now. So this is my current price, and I'm gonna keep it there for the league. So I no longer pick it up because I'm having this enough of the supply, I'd say. So maybe one day I will, when I please, and I will just enable filter and pick some more. But for now, I skip it. I focus on picking up currency, and that works for me. So the other big thing this league are flasks. So I have quite plenty. I reroll them from time to time using my altar orbs, so I don't really sell any altar orbs. And I reroll my flasks. I sell them for 100C, 60C, 1 divine if it's like perfect mage blood flask, and they are being sold very nicely. This is quite good source of income. Apart from that, I get my currency from scarabs, right? As you can see, I just sold on TFT for 80% of the stash stuff, and I got spammed. I could probably sell it for 85, more, maybe 90. So it wasn't like that early on. Scarabs were for like 60, 65. So I think this is because there are so many, it's really hard to flip it, and it was much easier in 3.23. So early on, people tried to focus on different tabs. Maybe they flipped fossils or something else. So it wasn't that simple to sell whole stash tab. But if it happens, then I just filter my Exilence next for scarabs, which have the most value. I just list few, like 2-3 of them. I list them for like 150% of their initial value, like a breach scarab. They were in Exilence next, they were like 2C each. I sold them for 5C each, right? So that's 2.5 times more because I had so many of them. People just wanted to buy I don't know, 20 of them, 30, 40, and do it in one trade. So of course the fragments are quite expensive this league, and everything else is like oils and currency, right? So again, filter Exilence next, but what's worth most, sell it, and you will be able to continue playing golden oil strats with just few trades. It was very easy this league, so the first moment you were able to farm golden oil strat, you never looked back, you never struggled with currency to continue playing, right? And the loot is quite nice. We had early on, I had like 16 divines per hour because golden oil was like 40C, silver oil 30C. Now it's like 80C, so the golden oil price goes up very quickly, and that hurts profits, right? So when I look at the Excel spreadsheet, right, we can see that the map cost went 50C, so 500C per 10 maps actually, but also the profits went a bit down. Also, it could be that I was unlucky with this session and maybe more lucky with those sessions, so it's really hard to tell with that sample. Yeah, here I dropped Valdo box, I dropped a natural selection with one session, so I think we can say that If you won't drop anything big, it's closer to 4K. If you drop more divines more divines than the typical 3.5 to 4, you will rather drop 4K chaos, right? So it's, it's somewhere between. I'd say it's always been quite accurate, so it might be that real average might be a little lower or a bit higher, right? And it changes quite fast. We are quite early in the league, so the economy is not stabilized yet. But when we compare single golden oil, we see quite a difference. It's over 1000 chaos average difference, 1300. So that's significant difference just for little less cost, right? So we pay like 5 divines less, but we get, So I think it's still when you look at profits, right? So it's like 3K here, 1K there. So that's something to be worried about, because if so, then if that's their truth number, then maybe single golden oil will be better, right? But I don't think so. This is also something where we can get unlucky. So I wonder, I haven't finished this. I guess it will be even lower. So I think the real profit is closer to 12 divines maybe. But let's see. I will continue playing. I tested triple golden oil, but that's even way worse, because some maps drop as low as 300 C. So when your golden oil is half a div now, it's just basically that, right? So you don't get anything else, right? You only get your money back for golden oils, and you barely have any other profit, right? So it's like really terrible. And I believe this is because most profit from double golden oil comes from those chests that are triggered by opal oil. So you have 18 lucky chests, and with double golden oil you have 60% chances for your reward to be, duplicated, and that increases tier of your reward. So with 18 lucky chests, it happens that you drop divine, you drop 2 divines, you drop a big reward, and with no opal oils in your strategy, I think you're missing out. So I dropped a lot of divine orbs in triple golden oil, but that the loot is not like significantly better, right, for the investment. I will do more tests of triple golden oil just for science. Maybe I will figure out what else to test, but the goal for this league for me is to test the change around Twist of Fate, because I tested this 2 leagues before. I spent a lot of time doing that. That was over 400 maps. Then spent a lot of time analyzing stuff, and they changed it completely. So I think it's all irrelevant now, and I think this is really important, how to optimize Twist of Fate, because previously we were re-rolling 4 and 5 mods, right? So if you had like 38-40% rarity, it was worth to actually apply Twist of Fate and hope for 8 mode or unidentified unidentified map, right? So this is what I plan to do now. There were some people that wanted to join me in data collection, so I will talk to them to see if they are interested in testing corrupted maps, because that would be really beneficial to have way bigger sample to actually understand where is the point at which the map after corruption has too low rarity to run it without, right? So there must be a specific point in increased rarity / increased quantity where we could do that. So regarding the build itself, right? So I uploaded a video where I ran 10 maps of double golden oil just for science. It took me 63 minutes with some, pit stops for trade or something, but just very little. I tried not to do that, but yeah, I was tempted to sell 1 flask for 100 C. It didn't happen anyway. But yeah, it's like 63 minutes. So basically we confirmed the time from previous league, and it's with early version of the build. So I guess with more expensive version, you can go down to 60 easily. That will increase profit per hour, of course. But yeah, but regarding the build, this is the version I used. So it's typical. It's just this 6-link version with Oriath's End, right? And Oriath's End was quite cheap. You could get it for, I think I've seen cheapest for 5 divines, which is crazy, right? If you think about it. compared to previous league, but on the other hand, the Dying Sun is very expensive because I didn't get it early. It was also like 345, and I paid for a good roll. I mean, good roll, an average roll, 8 divines in this week. So I'm not sure. Overall, this build was quite expensive, mostly because of the gloves. So they increased the price of Veiled Orb, and this hurts us the most because those gloves are mandatory. We cannot really live without them, and to transition to Ravage maps, you need it. Otherwise, your build might lose. And like with my PC, it's quite old now, right? So even with this channel, I've been playing this game for a few years, and I haven't upgraded my hardware. So, you know, if many monsters and this proximity shield appears, if there's many more monsters, my FPS drop. So it's really hard to handle it when your build does not deal enough damage to clear enough monsters to keep your FPS high. Because if your FPS drop, your map is lost. You can't do shit, you can't cast, you can't move. It's over, right? If your FPS drops to 0, the monsters will just leak to the pump and it's over. So if you have a great PC, maybe that's easier for you to jump into Ravage maps. For me, I need a build that basically handles this perfectly. Otherwise, I'm bleeding currency and it's pointless, right? So yeah, so this league, the start was not really smooth with this build. So probably if you started with DD, that was way better for you. And there is nothing else I wouldn't cover in my build guide. It's just the prices that were a bit high, right? So we had to pay a lot of money for gloves. Some of you did it within 2 divines and could enjoy Ravage maps day 3 with this build. Some of you tried 5 attempts at 3 divines per each attempt, so that's crazy to think about, right? Just 15 divines for gloves, and you need to buy Cremation, which is also nice to have, like level 29, which cost like 4 divines early on. This is because there is another Cremation build, which is also nice for Ravage maps, but it's less tanky, right? So with this build, I'm barely dying, right? So I might die one in 20, 30, 40 maps, right? Actually, I died on the video, but it was fully my fault. I just stood where I shouldn't and do nothing, right? So that's what killed me, and not really. I shouldn't be there. Basically, there was no reason for me to stand there, so that's why I died. But it didn't lose me a map. It wasn't even close to that, so that's completely fine. Every other item is rather, I mean, wasn't expensive, right? Ashes is very cheap. Aegis Aurora was very cheap. Virtus Veil was very expensive day 3, but we don't really need it. We can get any other helmet and maybe have one less aura. What I found out is that my character really stopped dying when I had my Bone Offering and Tempest Shield, right? So the block is really nice and helps Aegis Aurora to regenerate your energy shield. So that's really important to have. And yeah, I guess that's making you, and I mean this character, tanky, right? So other than that, yeah, Enlighten wasn't like very cheap, but wasn't like very expensive. Same for Empower, Enhance. Everything else is basically the same price. So I'd say the economy was a bit more inflated, but again, I did not play first week, so I bought some items week 2. So can't really comment on that, let's say, perfectly honestly, because you might have different experience. So I'm not sure what I'm gonna do for next league, because if they're not gonna change Veiled Orb stuff, and yeah, the other Cremation build is not, let's say, nerfed, and this build is not nerfed, then we will see. But maybe we can start, yeah, with the other Cremation build, or simply, if DD is not nerfed, then start with DD, jump to Ravaged maps, abuse that, get rich, and swap to, let's say, this version at least, right? So where you have 6 link, where you have all the items, Oriath's End, and this deals with Ravaged maps very nicely, and yeah, it's quite easy because it's tanky, right? So that's it on the build. And what else will we talk about? I guess that's it for this video, right? So I didn't want to make it very long, so I just wanted to give you some heads up that I'm still alive. I'm still doing some tests. I will be conducting more tests, right? Like I mentioned, corrupted maps. This is my goal for this league. Not much change, but we have new economy. We enjoy scarabs now. Yeah. Oh, one more thing, right? I forgot, right? So something that changed was a trade side, right? And this is something I wanted to point out in this video, and I even prepared chaotic resonators. So target is not rare, sure. So basically, this league we have defined cathedral, which drops apothecary, so it's very cheap. I paid like 20C for each map. I have quite a few of those. It's very easy to buy them. You can snipe them on trade. I will show you how in a second. So then you just simply buy fractured orbs, right? Sorry, fractured fossils and resonators, and you copy them. Because if we will not be doing that, and there is not enough maps on the market, we will not be able to to play it, right? So I suggest everyone to copy maps with fractured fossil. This way, if you buy 10, you get 20, and fossils are for like 20 to see, while the map is like 15 to 20. I paid 15 to 20 for each of the maps, so you're not losing much. Maybe it's cheaper if you just buy them, but it might be very soon that if people find out, thanks to this video, how to buy the maps of specific layout without flipping maps, then yeah, it might get more expensive, right? So, you know, the drill, because we did that with Crimson Temples. Unfortunately, not many people play Crimson Temple and favorite it. For this reason, the supply is quite low. But how to buy a specific map? So you type in blight-ravaged, blight-ravaged, and then you can see right away that you have all the layouts listed, right? So we are interested in Fight Cathedral. I think it's quite optimal. And don't collapse listings by account, because you wanna see who has the most maps. So you scroll. Maybe you have a better way of doing it. This is my way, right? So I see that there are some people like Nitirisu, or who else, like Tortic, who has more than one. And basically, yeah, you scroll down, like Snake Holmes has more than one. So basically you scroll down, yeah, and you send a message to them. You ask them if they have more, just buy them all. They will have like 3, 5, 10. I bought 13 from one guy. Then you just buy fossils in bulk, copy them, and that keeps you stashed. And if you pay 20C for a map that can drop apothecary, why not doing that, right? Why running like shitty layouts like T16s that drop nothing? Maybe, yeah. So I think this is useful to you, and this way you can increase your chances for nice divination drop cards. Maybe not apothecary right away, but there is a chance, and there are other divination cards in the Fight Cathedral that are nice. So we can still drop it from any chest, right? So you can drop it from pump, you can drop it from any chest. Divination chests no longer drop cards, right? So you won't be able to drop it from there. It drops stack deck instead. And regarding stack decks, so many people, another topic, so many people said, okay, they nerfed stack decks. No, they didn't. Look how many I dropped in 10 maps of double golden oil. I think we dropped them more than we used to, but we lose cards, so the profit we had from cards is now moved to this position. I'm not sure what's better. I think I'd rather trade stack decks, and it's, like I said, it's very easy to keep up with playing the maps if you just sell stack decks, some jewelry, and some currency that stacks up. So I think this is better. However, dropping like a doctor out of nowhere was just nice. It felt nice. So this is what we lost, this is what we gained. I guess like every league, there are no changes to Ravaged Blight, but everything changes. This is same. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will continue playing, upgrading my build, jumping to corrupted maps and testing corrupted versions for you and posting next video. So cheers and bye.